Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the Two-Tone Murphy channel. I'm Gibbo and you're very welcome to yet another Microsoft Flight Simulator quick fix video. Well, in today's video we're going to be talking about automations. Now, as this is a quick fix video, well, we'd be here all day if we're talking about automations. So instead, well, we're going to cover just one use case, to serve as a bit of an introduction and to also plant the seed perhaps on the art of what's possible. So, the use case that I've chosen is, well, one that I think is common to all of us really, and it's that of launching applications. And even then, we're only really barely scratching the surface as to what's possible. Now, application launching doesn't really sound too exciting, does it? Yeah, that's true, but look, let me paint a couple pictures for you, 3 to be exact, so you can see it in action. One problem I think we've all had is trying to keep on top of the various places we have aircraft purchases from, and downloading them and keeping them up to date. Did you buy that item off Just Flight, or was it Sim Market, or was it Orbix, or PMDG? You get the idea. So, well, how about one button, and it will launch you into your accounts for each of those providers. And if there's a page that's anything like Orbix's, you can see at a glance if you need an update or not. At the very least, it reminds you where your purchases are, even if there's some further clicks to do an update. The next is when you simply launch the sim. I know most of us have other applications that we use side by side with the sim. This could be software for your honeycomb hardware to make the LEDs work, flight EFBs like SimToolkit Pro or Little Nav Map, or even overclocking software if that's your thing that you'd like to run perhaps just before you open up the sim. At the press of one button, I have all those things and more launching before the sim loads up. So in my case, I have SimToolkit Pro, FS Realistic, Discord, Flight Events, Little Nav Map, JoinFS, Flight Recorder, and of course Microsoft Flight Sim, all loading up at the press of one button. Pretty handy. The final example of application launching may be when you are perhaps in a group flight with your favorite streamer, such as perhaps Two-Tone Murphy. Perhaps you not only want the apps I've just mentioned to load, but you want the stream to be visible in a particular place on your screen, or even a second screen, not interfering with the sim. So I don't know about you, but I get tired of resizing windows. So again, here we've one press of a button, and it's exactly how I want it, complete with Discord open too. So how have I done it and what have I used? Well, let's jump in, take a closer look. Well folks, what I use is an Elgato Stream Deck, which I just love. But I can already hear some of you thinking, Gibbo, I don't have a Stream Deck. Well, don't turn off the video and don't worry, I'm not trying to sell you one, and I got you covered. And I can hear some of you saying, well, I have one, but don't you have to program the buttons to make them work the way you want? And yes, that's true, but again, stick around, I got you covered. Hopefully you're still with me, we'll keep going. So if you have a Stream Deck, fantastic, and you're all set. And if you don't, well, what do you need? Well, you just need a phone or a tablet. And your own device can literally be a Stream Deck. Elgato have a Stream Deck mobile version. The price is €3 a month or €27 a year, but you can try it out free of charge for an entire month first before paying a penny, just to make sure it's right for you. So why not try it out? So launching the Stream Deck app on my iPad, you'll see that it is controlled just as though you had a physical Stream Deck from the Elgato Stream Deck software. So here is where I've actually programmed the buttons that now pop up on my iPad, which is very handy indeed. Now, let me show you a little more about how they work and what I've got. So the first one I've got here, these are called multi-actions, which is a set of automations that you've programmed to happen when you press that button. The first one, of course, is when I run the sim and I've got other applications loading at the same time. The next one is when I'm watching a Two-Tone Murphy stream, and then the last one is when I'm updating and I want to load all those various repositories. So if I go into the stream one, just to show you how that works, I've got a couple actions here. Now I do have a plugin installed as well. If I just go back a second, here is where you go about installing plugins. Let me bring the window over so you can see it a little better. In particular, there's two that I would just call out. The first one is Windows Mover. There it is there. All you do to install it, it's free, is you just click install and it'll install Windows Mover. Now if I go back into the stream automation that I have, well, I've got a couple actions here. I've got 6 in total, I think. First one is opening Discord. That's pretty easy. Open Discord. The next one then is using the Windows Mover plugin that I just showed you a moment ago. It will move Discord into a particular location, and below is where you'd set up how you want that to work, on what screen you want it to pop in on, and whereabouts. So what are the coordinates? You can even go further than that by resizing it as well. If I scroll down a little further, I've got resize enabled here to make it exactly the dimensions that I wish. That's really all that's to it. And I've just repeated the same thing over and over. So for the next one, I have it opening up Chrome and I have it going to a particular location, which of course would be Twitch. And then the next action is moving that particular window to the screen that I want, the size that I want, at the coordinates that I want as well. Now that sounds complicated. How do I know the coordinates and how do I resize it? You can actually, when you scroll down, you can click Get Current Window Coordinates. So in other words, move it where you want, have it the size you like, click that button and it takes care of the rest for you. And then the last one I have is opening up the sim itself. So one little quick tip I'd share is that when you choose the application that you want, the easiest way to do it is actually create a shortcut on your desktop, and saves you having to navigate through a complicated folder structure if you just have a shortcut on your desktop that you can point this to. And then again, I just have it resizing. Actually, it's not resizing anything for the sim. The sim is full screen, but it's just making sure it goes to the correct screen. And that's all that's to it. So you just tap then on the TTM stream button on your iPad over here on the right, and those 6 actions all are automated at the tap of one button. Pretty handy. Now, there is one thing that I'm not going to cover too much, but I will call out is under plugins. If I go back here, well, for some of you, you might be familiar with macros. Macros are possible here too. There's this one called Super Macro that I'd highlight. I have it installed and was playing with a little. Might cover it on another video if it's of interest to you, but that takes it even further, whereby it automates keyboard, what to call it, keyboard, it'll come to me, keyboard, strokes, and mouse clicks. So, you know, you can really get it to do stuff for you as though you're physically doing it. Particularly handy when stuff is in the same location, you know, boxes that you want to click on are in the same location. A macro will take care of that all for you, which takes automation even further. As I say, that's a bit more advanced. Might cover that. If it's of interest, do drop a comment below to let me know. Now, I did mention at the top of the video that I was going to make your life a little bit easier and having you covered in not having to program the buttons yourself. So if I go back to my iPad, these 3 buttons obviously are unique to my system. Unique in terms of the monitors that I have, the coordinates that I want, the applications that I use, but nevertheless, it is possible to import and export profiles from your Stream Deck. And I'm going to export this profile and make it available to you. As I say, it won't work right off the bat. You'll need to maybe make some tweaks to make it work for you, but nevertheless, it'll serve as a good starting point. And that will be available on the twotonmurphy.com/downloads website for free, of course. Now, what else? Well, that got me thinking. Wouldn't it be great if perhaps, you know, between us we shared some other profiles, you know, to help us make our lives a little bit easier and to help automate things? Well, on the Two Tom Murphy Discord server, we have a new channel called Stream Deck Profiles. And here, well, I have a link to this profile that you see on my iPad. And also, there's one more thing I just wanted to show you quickly as well. You can download profiles for your Stream Deck that suit the sim. So let me start with flightsim.to. Here's an example of some that exist. If I move the iPad away, that might be a bit better. There we go. It's not in the way anymore. So here we have flightsim.to, several profiles that exist for your Stream Deck. You can see just quickly covering them. We got a Cessna 172. We got a Piper Arrow. Excellent. We've got a H145 profile. Let me go for the 172 for the moment. And look, hopefully you can see that. I mean, that's pretty awesome to be able to help you control. Oh, there's your autopilot. There's your GN 530. Look at the knobs and everything there that you can use. I mean, that's pretty handy. This is for free, of course. But let's take it again a step further. How about this? Check this out. This is called Flight Deck. And here again, there's tons of profiles. There's 30 unique plane profiles in particular. So here we can see one for the Cessna 172. Here's the A320. Here's the Islander. Pit Special. More 172. Here's the Grand Caravan. The Bonanza. You can see how great the Stream Deck can actually make your flight sim experience through controlling the actual aircraft itself. And there's one final thing. That wasn't all. If I scroll down to the bottom, as a separate add-on, check out what's there. The DC6 and the CRJ. So let's click on the DC6. Seems to be another €5. Ooh, it's got gyro pilot, controls, AFE, de-icing. That looks pretty handy. So lots that can be automated, lots that can help your experience with the sim through the Stream Deck. Why don't you create a couple profiles, share them on the Two Tone Murphy Discord. It'd be great to see what you come up with, and maybe we can help one another out. And as I say, don't forget, if you'd like something, you know, the next level of advanced in terms of covering some further automations, do be sure to leave a comment below. And folks, that's it. I hope you got something out of this video, found it interesting or useful. If you did, please do consider giving it a like. It would be so much appreciated. And don't forget, Two Tone Murphy himself streams Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 2000 Zulu live on Twitch. It's tons of fun. It'd be great to see you there for a group flight. Until the next one, thanks again. Take care. Bye.